Welcome to the Tailgate Tailgate Show. The tailgate show for the tailgaters. Done by the not-so-ready for primetime pickers. Hosted by the Lunch Eaters Man of the Year and legendary broadcaster Bill Bubba Bussey. You only thought you knew college football. Call Mama Moon and saddle up for a football experience. Now, here's Bubba.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Tailgate Tailgate Show. I'm your semi-retired, mostly washed-up host, formerly of the Rick and Bubba Show, and we want to welcome you to the Tailgate Tailgate Show. What a great program we have planned this week. I am so glad to be here because I think I'm the only person armed with a wound vac and a pick line and have had a worse week than the SEC officials. We'll see how all that plays out when the show is over. Our website is the tailgatetailgateshow.com. Be sure to check out there our sponsors, all the information about the show, and our radio partners. This is a podcast, but it's also heard on the radio on Saturday morning in several places, and you can check that out there. Let me welcome in the not-so-ready for primetime pickers, Hunter Bussey. Hunter, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you, Dad? I'm ready for another week of college football. It might be a little down week, but as far as matchups, we got some good ones to pick from today, so I'm excited.
Nathan Hall, how are you, sir?
I'm great. No complaints. We're getting into the kind of the meat of the college football season, and I'll give my weekly shout out to the best team in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts, playing the best football I've ever seen in my life.
You know, they really are playing good. I've actually started watching them. They're fun to watch. And our guest picker is a rather famous name and face in sports and other things, formerly of Fox 6, WBRC in Birmingham, and also NBC 13 in Birmingham, and now the host of the Good Company podcast, Rick Karle. Rick, how are you?
How are you? Hey, you know, you mentioned semi-retired, washed up. I thought you were talking about me when you signed on.
Oh, no, I've got the lead on that title, baby. Let me tell you. Well, we're glad.
Well, bless your heart. I mean, I know you've had the knee thing, your third surgery, and my gosh, it's like my mom used to say. She lived to be 90, and she had a great run. But she said, you know, I feel like an old Rambler automobile. You just keep kind of patching it up and try to stay on the road. And that's we're getting to that point, I think, Bubba.
Yeah, it's not fun, that's for sure. There's better things to do, I promise you. And we'll cover more of that in that episode on Bubba on the Lake next time around. I don't want to bother everybody with that right here. You know, this is really, if you're into sports, this is the greatest time of year. You have NFL, you have college, all the football going on. Basketball has started, the NBA, and you have the World Series going on. So you have all of the big three at one time. What a great time to be a sports fan, huh?
Yes, it's a great time. It's a great time.
It really is. And of course, now with the gambling thing with the NBA now, so you know we're going to see where that is. This is one of my. I'm kind of a casual. I grew up a Boston Red Sox fan, and you know, when I was younger, I used to watch them all the time. Go to Fenway Park, and this was in the late '70s, early '80s. Bucky Dent and that era.
Yep.
But but when they get into the Fall Classic and the World Series, the ALCS and LCS, the networks do a great job. And it's kind of like the NBA when they get into the playoffs. NHL too, man. It seems like these guys step it up a notch, you know, when the second season comes.
Well, you know, they used to call Reggie Mr. October, so, you know, the stars do come out.
That's right. That's right.
All right, guys, our question. Well, let me do this. Let me recap last week first. It was my Waterloo week. I fell to 4-4. Nathan was the winner of the week at 6-2. Hunter went 5-3, and Rosie Langello went 4-4 from our friends there in Montgomery on the NBC station. And but I'm maintaining, Rick, a slight lead overall at 47-15. Hunter and Nathan both at 40-22. I told the guys before we started, if we were coaches and had that record, we got $1 million contracts, don't we?
Yeah. Right. No, that is very impressive. That is, I picked for AL.com the high schools last week. I think I went 14-6, and I thought, you know, I covered high school for 30 years, and I still only went 14-6. So I mean, it's like our wives, you know, like the NCAA tournament. My wife beats me every spring. on March Madness because she thinks the mascot was cute or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah. For fun, I've started picking a blind bracket just to see if what I think is going to happen versus blind luck. And blind luck remains oddly close to my picks. I mean, it's very close, not near the distance you'd like for it to be. But, guys, let me ask you the question of the week. Let's talk about this. We're coming up on week number 9. Who is the Heisman favorite right now, and who do you think it will be on December the 13th? Hunter, I'll go to you.
I have been all over the road with this because it feels like there's not really like a concrete one yet, but I feel like the guy playing the best football right now is Ty Simpson for Alabama. There's no doubt in my mind I've said it almost every week. He's hitting his stride, and it feels like the stride gets better every week with the Tide. It's just either him or Mendoza out of Indiana are my top 2 right now. It wouldn't shock me. Both of them are in New York come December, but we'll see. But right now my pick is Ty Simpson.
What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I share Hunter's top 2. I've got Fernando Mendoza as my 1 right now ahead of Ty Simpson. Julian Sayin is right there kind of creeping up on both of them. What it's going to come down to for Mendoza is can he get past Penn State? That's the biggest barrier for him right now to that perfect 12-0 season. I feel like on the 13th, I'm going to go with Ty Simpson. I don't feel good betting against Alabama. Let's say right now it's Mendoza. In December, it's going to be Ty Simpson.
Rick, what do you say?
Pavia.
I know. How do you bet against him, man?
Here's for the little guy.
It's not too late.
No, I say that because I years ago my son went to Vanderbilt, and years ago he got me a Vanderbilt shirt, a golf shirt with a Vandy logo on it. When I go out, people always say, "Hey, did you go to Vandy?" I said, "No, my money went to Vandy."
Right.
I think Mendoza, and I really like Ty Simpson. I mean, the way he just rifles it into tight windows and the way he throws accurately on the run. Look, at nothing against Jalen Milroe. I mean, he's a great guy. I've gotten to know his mom and dad really well. A superb athlete, could probably run circles around Ty Simpson in a 40-yard dash. But when he got out of the run, he wasn't as accurate. Ty Simpson is just so good on the run, using his feet and knowing when to, a little bit like Josh Allen does. He'll run and then he'll draw the linebackers up and then he'll dump it. And Pavia does that a little bit. But I think Ty Simpson will be invited to New York. He will have a nice time in New York. I'm not sure if he's going to win it, but you got to start somewhere. And he's having a great season as well.
I have to agree with y'all. I don't know. We can't give it to the coach of Indiana, can we? Can the coach get it? I mean, I love this guy. I haven't heard a good trash talking coach in a long time. Most of them are so coach speak they don't make anybody mad. This guy's out there saying, "Hey, we're not only beating top 25 teams, we're kicking their A." I mean, that is good stuff. I mean, who does that this day and time? Golly,
Google me.
Rick Karle, what has he done at Indiana? I mean, this has just come out of nowhere. What is this all about?
I haven't found it that much only because I'm so SEC prone, but boy, he's done a great job. He got a big contract. Some people are criticizing Indiana for giving him that much money because in this NIL age, things just change so quickly.
Yep.
And you're putting it, and it's a huge buyout, but. We'll see. Whatever he's doing it right. And but that's a tough conference too. You got to go to battle each and every week. And just like we'll talk about shortly, any team can beat any team in a Power 5 conference. So we'll see where he goes. He made the playoffs last year, and didn't he make the semifinals or so? He went far.
He got close, I think.
He got close, but maybe he didn't. But he did. He was in there for a while.
All right, I want to ask y'all one more question. Rick, I'll start with you. How many SEC teams are we going to see in the playoffs? How many of the 12?
I got you put me on the spot. I should have dialed up my laptop before I came on.
We won't hold you to it.
You go through them. You got Alabama. You got Georgia.
Right.
You got probably Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I missing?
A&M.
Tennessee, possibly.
Texas A&M. I would think.
Oh, A&M. Yeah.
I mean, we can't have all the spots, right? I mean, good night. What a lead this year, huh?
Could be
Or can we?
Maybe 6, maybe half the field.
Is Vandy going to get in? You think Vandy's possible?
They got to keep winning. They had a good win against LSU, no doubt, and they played Bama tough. But I mean, it's still Vanderbilt, and they've got to keep on winning. But if they win out, I would see no reason why they're not.
If they win out, I see them or Tennessee as a possibility, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, they would have to beat Tennessee, I guess, to win out.
Right.
No, that would be a crazy scenario if that
that's
happened.
Going to be a huge game. That's going to be a very consequential game.
Well, guys, thank you for the answer to those questions. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll start picking some of the games. You are listening to the Tailgate Tailgate Show. We'll be right back.
Attention business owners, print buyers, and production managers. Guaranteed Labels is here to help you focus less on your printing, labels, decals, and focus more on growing your business. Guaranteed Labels wants to be your reliable printer. Quality, on-time shipments, and stock programs set us apart. If you're needing to focus less on your printing and more on your business, trust Guaranteed Labels, 205-640-4552 or GuaranteedLabels.com. Guaranteed Labels, still sticking since 1988.
Land is more than just dirt and timber. When you manage it, you're a steward of wildlife and a caretaker for future generations. The management advantage was built for people like you. For over 20 years, they've shared proven knowledge from some of the nation's top land and wildlife managers. From food plots to predator control, it's education that turns passion into a lasting impact. Have the advantage on your property. Subscribe on YouTube and follow the Management Advantage on social media today.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the Tailgate Show, the not so ready for primetime pickers. I'm your host, Bill Bubba Bussey, along with Hunter Bussey, Nathan Hall, and Rick Karle, longtime voice and face of Birmingham TV. Guys, let's look at some of these games, and we've got some good ones this week. UCLA will be going to Indiana. We were just talking about them. Hunter, what do you think?
I think Indiana's going to win this game. I'm going to go ahead and get my pick out there, but I'm going to explain why. I like what Jerry Newhousel is doing ever since he has become the offensive coordinator there. Their offense is electric right now. They're hot. They're playing inspired football. But Indiana is the number 2 team in the country for a reason. They have earned it. They're going to play like it. And it might be close, but I think Indiana's going to come out on top in this game.
Nathan, what do you think?
So both of these teams have huge sparks in the locker room, huge guys in positions of leadership that really fire the team up. Jerry Newhousel at UCLA, and then Kurt Cignetti at Indiana. I'm not picking against Indiana right now. Maybe against Penn State. That, like I said earlier, that Penn State game is the one sort of speed bump in front of Indiana that I think might trip them up down the line. But in this game, I'm not willing to bet against Kurt Cignetti.
Rick Karle, what do you say?
I'm riding the wave, man. Indiana. I mean, Cignetti, despite the salary. By the way, let me say this real quick before I go on. It's a new age in college football.
Yeah.
When all these SEC coaches and players, come to one another at some point during the fall and say, we've got the toughest opponent of the year this Saturday, Vanderbilt. I mean,
I know.
Right? I mean, how times have changed. It's not your father's Vanderbilt anymore. But
No.
Let's go with the Hoosiers, right? Come on, let's do
You got
that.
to.
Well, if it's a coin flip, you get 3 points for home field, so we'll go with the Hoosiers, right? And by the way, if they lose, it's already basketball season, so they're going to be just fine.
I brought that up last week, Rick. I thought when basketball started and they had Midnight Madness that the football team might fall off, but that has not been the case. And of my 15 losses in my picks this year, Indiana and Vandy have been half of them. I'm a believer. I'm with the Hoosiers. I'm picking Indiana. Michigan will call on Michigan State. Rick Karle will flip it around. What do you think?
This is all Michigan. This means the world to Michigan. I think Michigan is a 2-touchdown favorite in this. And this is at Lansing, I think. Michigan State is at least to me recently, and this is not a knock against the Auburn Tigers as well, because I love Auburn. I love the game day experience. I love Auburn fans, and there's nothing like an Auburn game.
Unless you want to win.
Right. But being an Auburn fan sometimes is difficult because you're riding, you're like a roller coaster. You're in tears with joy, and then the next day you're kind of down in the dumps. And I think Michigan State's a little bit like that. I mean, like Auburn, Spartans fans just love their team, but they're not quite there at the level of Michigan. And I think Michigan will find a way.
Nathan, what do you say?
I think Michigan's going to find a way too. Bryce Underwood is the $10 million man, and we opened up the show talking about Heisman favorites, and I don't think he was anywhere in the mix. So I feel like at some point he's got to emerge, and he's had some really good games. I mean, even against Oklahoma, I thought he looked okay. He's had some good games, but I think this is going to be a big game for him. It's a rivalry game. I think he's going to understand the importance of this for Michigan fans. And it's like Rick said, Michigan State has just kind of been in a state of mediocrity for a while. And Auburn took their backup quarterback, Peyton Thorne, which tells you all you need to know about Auburn. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But yeah, I see no reason to pick Michigan State here. I'm rolling with the Wolverines.
Hunter?
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Wolverines too. I like both schools, honestly. I like Michigan State as well, but I've been inspired by watching the Connor Stallions documentary on Netflix, so give me the Wolverines by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Big Blue kind of owns this rivalry right now, and I don't see anything changing this week. I'm going with Michigan. Texas A&M goes to LSU. Hunter, what do you think about this? Texas A&M's having a great season. LSU is not, but strange things happen in Death Valley on Saturday night.
Yeah, this game in the past has had its dramatic installments. This game will be close, but I think A&M comes out on top in this one. I just think Marcel Reed's going to be too much for LSU, and Brian Kelly is just going to be right in the face. Like, why can't my team do anything? I just think Texas A&M has too much firepower for LSU. Give me A&M big.
Nathan?
Is this a night kickoff? Is this one of the 6:30, 6:45?
I assume that. I really don't know the kickoff time.
I think it is.
It's a night game. Yeah,
it is.
I've people talk about Jordan Hare being haunted, and there was a time when I guess that would have been true. I've been to Death Valley at night, and it's different. It's a scary place, and I think that's going to play a factor in the game. But ultimately, Texas A&M impresses me in the way that they can beat you in a ton of different ways. Marcel Reed is dynamic. He's phenomenal. They can win holding you to 10 points. They can beat you in shootouts. Texas A&M, I said a couple weeks ago, was one of my national championship kind of favorite teams, and I see no reason to back off of that now. I'm going to go Texas A&M in a close game.
Rick, what do you say?
First, let me say that Nathan is much too educated for this podcast. He's done. Look, all I'm telling you, I've covered in 30 years as a sports anchor at Fox 6. I've covered many games at Death Valley. Remember Bama's streak of success there. LSU couldn't seem to beat Bama, but that place is different, especially at night. Funny story. Remember, you're probably old enough to remember Roger Schultz, Bubba.
Oh yeah, I know Roger. Yeah,
real funny guy. Yeah, nice guy. And I did a show with him for years on Fox 6, along with Tommy Jackson from Auburn. But anyway, he would tell the story. This was probably when did he play? He played for Stallings and Curry, so 89 to 90. The bus comes in from Alabama, okay, and they're playing at Baton Rouge, and they're coming into the stadium, the Tiger Stadium, from their team hotel, and the fans are rocking the bus, and it's getting really kind of nervous. The players are inside going, geez, I hope we can walk from the bus to the locker room here without getting killed here. So they start getting off the bus, and Roger, according to Roger Schultz, he was getting off the bus, went down the steps, and a 90-year-old grandma mooned him. Okay, and he insists this was real. It was an old lady with gray hair. Wow. I mean, just dropped trowel right there. And he said that is the atmosphere that you go into, when you play at Death Valley. I think Brian Kelly, there's a stat out there. It's something crazy, like he's only has one loss at home or whatever, or night games or whatever. I'm going with LSU, man. Just when you think stink it up. They didn't look good against Vanderbilt. Brian Kelly is searching for an answer. I think, in my heart, that I'm going against the grain here. The LSU Tigers will win by a field goal on Saturday night.
Now, Rick, are you calling upset?
I am calling upset right there, man.
The upset air horn.
That's the upset air horn. Rick Karle called for it.
And you know what that means? You know what that means after I called the upset? A&M wins by 21.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I was looking at that one as an upset special, but I saw A&M play a little bit, and wow, they've just got speed.
Yeah,
I'm really impressed with their quarterback, and I think this may be their year. They've looked for that year. They've paid for that year. And I think they've got one of the best teams that I have seen them have since I've been watching them in the SEC. So I'm going to stay with the visitors in this one. It could be brutal, and Rick, you could be right, but I'm going with the Aggies. Now, this next game is interesting to me because I don't know what the betting line is, but just from a touchy feel, this has to be a toss-up game. You have Ole Miss at Oklahoma. Ole Miss is having a great year, but they showed that they could be beat, that they did have some weaknesses in the fourth quarter at Georgia. Hunter, how you see this one?
Yeah, I'm in the boat with you. It is a toss-up, although I do think Kiffin is going to have the Rebels ready against the Sooners to bounce back. Give me Ole Miss in this game. I think it'll be close, but give me Ole Miss.
Nathan, what do you say?
I like Trinidad Chambliss a lot. Ole Miss is sort of fill-in quarterback since Austin Simmons went down. I said last week he was going to have a phenomenal early game, and then between the hedges, it was going to be too much for him late game, and he was going to go back to sort of that Ferris State, start. He still looks phenomenal. This is Lane Kiffin's offense against Brent Venables' defense. It's a really interesting matchup. Oklahoma just has not impressed me a lot this year. Auburn, as far as I'm concerned, to beat Oklahoma. And since then, they haven't. Their performance against Texas was abysmal. Hunter and I were walking around Auburn's campus, just kind of catching glimpses of that on tailgate screens, and I thought I was in the Twilight Zone. Like, there's no way Arch Manning is up 2 touchdowns on Oklahoma. So I'm going to roll with Lane here. I don't think he has 2 weeks back to back like what we saw against Georgia. I'm going to say it's close, but Ole Miss is going to pull it out.
Rick Karle, what do you say?
I'm going Oklahoma, and here's why. I think Lane Kiffin has lost too much weight, and he's too tan. He looks like he's been at the beach. He's working out, good-looking guy, kind of reborn in many ways. I think OU's interior lines are really, really good. They're playing at home. It's a tough place to play, and I'm looking at my laptop over my cell phone here, and, they got all the picks of the experts like we all think we are. And I think there's like 12 picks here from various media people. 6 chose Oklahoma, 6 chose Ole Miss. So, it really is a coin toss. And, Nathan, watch the big play, just when, you think Ole Miss is lulling you to sleep. There goes the bomb, or, a wheel route, or, getting a person in space on a crossing route and let them go. And I love watching Ole Miss football, and I love watching Lane Kiffin's offenses, especially when it was at Bama. But let's go with the home team. I just know that Oklahoma's interior defensive line is really good. So you have to be able to run, at least to pass effectively, especially play action. So, let's go with the home team. Let's go with the Sooners.
This is one I have really flip-flopped back and forth on. I couldn't decide. This could be one of those triple overtime games where a ball hits off an upright and does something strange. You just don't know what to expect. But in a toss-up, my heart says go with the home team. I think the Sooners may have a slight advantage here, especially if their quarterback is healthy. And I'm going to pick the Sooners by a nose in this one, not by much. Now, the ESPN Game Day, and again, this almost sounds like we're in some kind of upside-down world, will be at Vanderbilt as they host Missouri. Rick Karle, we'll start with you. How about this strange occurrence?
Okay. Oh, you mean the Game Day at Vanderbilt?
Yes.
That's going to be fun. Have you been to Nashville lately?
No, I have not.
It's exploding. It's always, it's almost getting too big. It's a great place to live, but skyscrapers. They've got Missouri. Boy, I don't want to knock players because look at me. You know what I mean? I was I got cut from my high school basketball team. But and not that I carry it to this day, 50 years later.
yeah, obviously. I understand.
But I'm not, that quarterback at Missouri is a real gamer, but I'm not really, what I've seen of him, I guess. And so,
we're losing Rick. Rick, stand by. Nathan, let's go to you. We'll come back to Rick. He's having some internet trouble there. What do you say, Nathan?
So one of the most interesting things to me about this game day spot is ESPN and the SEC seem to be very buddy right now. I know there's some contract situations there, and people have been noticing, like, is Missouri Vanderbilt the best matchup happening in the country this week? I don't know. That's a debate for another time. But I like Pavia here. I think Pavia is legit. He stumbled against Alabama. He had the turnovers and all that kind of stuff. But Missouri, I mean, you saw the way they played against Auburn, and Auburn is completely in the dumps right now. And for that game to be as close as it was, Missouri had so many chances against Alabama. That would have been a big win for them, and they couldn't capitalize. I think Diego Pavia is going to understand the weight of this game. We talked about kind of his Heisman hopes and dreams. And if he has any hopes and dreams of being in New York for that ceremony, he has to win this game. So I think that Vandy is going to get it done in a close game. It'll be a battle, but I'm going to roll with Pavia and the Commodores.
Rick, are you back now? Not only did you get cut from your basketball team, but your local internet provider. Are you back with us?
Yes.
So I'm assuming you're going to pick Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I think so, and not just because my kid went there, but I think that like Nathan said, I agree. I think Vanderbilt's a better team than Missouri.
Yeah.
Gene Stallings once said years ago in the '90s. Somebody asked him about another game and who you're picking. He goes, well, whatever it was, Miami. He goes, well, because they're a better football team.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're going to make a pick, maybe you just pick the better team, and I think Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Rick, once again, somebody's out to get Rick. I don't know who it is. Hunter, we did get the pick. It's Vanderbilt. Hunter, what do you say? And you have some information on the guest picker, right?
Yeah, so the guest picker is Nate Bargatze. If you don't know who that is, he's aka the Tennessee kid. He's hilarious. It just has the makings to be a great day in Nashville. And considering just what we were talking about earlier, how Vanderbilt basically has to win out to be in the playoffs. I think this is a must-win game for Vanderbilt, and I think they will get it done. I'm not betting against Vanderbilt anymore the rest of the season unless it's a obvious mismatch. But I think Pavia is going to play lights out this weekend, and the Commodores come out on top big time.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick. I said earlier, I'm not picking against Indiana or Vandy anymore this season unless something dramatic happens, like the starting quarterback is kidnapped or something. I mean, I just don't see that happening. Ought to be an entertaining game, and we'll see how all that plays out. I am going with Vandy also. Everybody, you are tuned in to the Tailgate Tailgate Show. It is the Tailgate Show for the tailgaters, and our website is the tailgateshow.com, and we ask you to check everything out there, and we'll be back with a look at some games a little closer to home when we come back.
Hey Auburn fans, this is Lois Ann Murphy, your owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Alex City, located on Highway 280. As a former Auburn cheerleader, football is my favorite time of the year. Tailgating and Chick-fil-A are a perfect match. Let Chick-fil-A Alex City take care of all your catering needs. We have a variety of trays, nuggets, mac and cheese, grilled cool wraps, and more. All are perfect for your tailgating needs. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app or call 256-289-7955 and War Eagle.
You know one thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings? You can get wings with any of their 26 sauces and dry rubs for takeout and delivery. That's like bringing an entire B-dubs home with you, which you can't do. I tried. I've knocked down so many walls, only to then be told to halt construction because I'm not zoned to be a sports bar. Kind of just looks like a big pergola or something because of the lack of walls. At least these 26 sauces and dry rubs are available to go. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Tailgate Tailgate Show. I'm your host, Bill Bubba Bussey, along with Hunter Bussey, Nathan Hall, and well-known sports expert Rick Karle from Birmingham TV, and now the host of a podcast, and we'll get him to tell you more about that here in the next segment. We have some local teams to cover from the state of Alabama. Louisiana travels to Troy. Hunter, how you see it?
Yeah, I like Troy here. They're kind of on a little win streak right now. I really like the Trojans and what they put on the field. I like their coach a lot. I've watched some of the interviews with their coach, and I like them, what they got going on over there. But give me the Trojans this weekend against the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette.
Nathan?
These local teams have been tripping me up. I've had a couple of UAB situations over the course of the Tailgate show so far. For that reason, I'm going to go Troy. I'm going to keep it local and just kind of hedge my bets and say the Trojans are going to get it done against Louisiana.
Rick Karle?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Troy, only because, and no offense to the $1 Million Band and the Jacksonville State Band in Auburn, but Troy's marching band is one of the best marching bands I've ever seen in my life. It's unbelievable. But no, home field. Let's go with Troy. And again, I don't pretend to know a lot about Louisiana, so. Let's go with the home folks and stay safe on the pick there.
You know, speaking of local, we got to congratulate the UAB Blazers on their amazing win this past weekend, and we're looking forward to see how that's going to develop. I'm going with you guys. I am picking the Trojans at home. Can't go against them on that. I think this is a good matchup for them, and we'll see how that plays out. Auburn travels to Arkansas. Rick Karle will flip it around. How do you see this one?
Oh, man, you had to come to me first, huh? This is just a tough pick. I'm going to go with Auburn here. And a lot of folks might be saying, why? That's a good question. I mean, what is it? 3 straight years now they start 0-4 in the SEC.
Yep.
Correct.
Fans it's easy for us to play armchair quarterback, but they're watching their quarterback go back and just not get rid of the ball. You need to get rid of the ball. And, of course, then there's the whole SEC official thing. And, is Auburn getting kind of the raw deal, especially the last couple of weeks on the goal line stand and the turnover and the kind of trick play against Oklahoma, et cetera. So that's a whole nother drama in itself. But I just think that Auburn is due. Their defense is playing really well. I think they're capable. I think they need to run the ball more. I mean, just run the ball. Was that the saying? And so call me nuts, but I think that I think Auburn will win this game.
What, Rick? Wait a minute. I think that qualifies as an upset. Hang on a minute.
It does.
Oh no! Does it qualify? Do we have to do the air horn for? Oh no!
Listen, for Auburn to beat anybody right now, based on their record, is an upset. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's just sad. It's just sad.
Nathan, what do you say?
So here's where I'm at. I'm not going to pick Auburn for the rest of the year until they show me something. And Bubba, I think you were ahead of me by a couple of weeks on your rage level. Mine was a lot more sadness, despair, depression. Yours I would categorize more as rage.
No, I was just pissed off.
I'm there. Don't hold back. I'm right there with you. This is egregious what we're watching right now. There's no excuse for it. For Hugh Freeze to go to SEC Media Days and willingly tell people by his own volition, we're going to be in the college football playoff talks. That's where we need to be. Anything short of that is a bust. And to lose 4 SEC games in a row to open conference play with the roster that we have. I mean, this is completely unacceptable. Rick Pitino is going to hop off his motorcycle and hang 90 points on Auburn. It's going to be a disaster. And I don't see us winning another game this year until we figure something out at quarterback. I'm done, Hunter. Pass it to you.
Nathan, that sounds almost like my rant 2 weeks ago. Go ahead, Hunter.
Yeah, I think Rick said it earlier, the roller coaster of emotions as an Auburn fan, and the past, I would say 4 weeks, it's been screaming, crying, and throwing up. But I don't see. I think the defense will show up as always. But this offense, the offensive line had a major injury to Connor Lew. He tore his ACL. He's out for the year, which is, I hate it for him. I really like Connor Lew. We have a guy filling in for him that should be a high school student, but he reclassified. So we're kind of throwing him to the wolves a little bit, but I think he's ready. He did all right against Missouri when he was in. But it's just insane that we have, you have Cam Coleman, you have Eric Singleton, Malcolm Simmons, and Cam Coleman specifically is an NFL caliber receiver. I have no doubt in my mind. And they're just not utilizing him, and I think that'll be the same outcome from the past couple of weeks. Give me Arkansas in this game.
Have any of you guys, and I know you haven't, Hunter, ever worked on a farm? Nathan, you or Rick?
Yeah, I have a little bit of experience.
You know how to.
My first job was picking strawberries at age 15. I think I got a nickel a quart. So,
well, y'all know how you call the hogs up to eat, don't you? Y'all know how to do that?
Are you fixing to give us a suey pig?
Here, pig!
Oh, no.
Here, pig! And, buddy, they'll come running. I mean, they'll tear out. Them little tails just a wagging. Y'all, I said weeks ago, I can't pick Auburn till they show me something. Haven't seen it yet. Still on the lookout. Got the binoculars. I'm on the guard tower. Still hadn't seen it. Show me something. I'm going with the hogs because I got to protect my record. Alabama.
One more thing real quick.
Yeah.
Auburn will not only win, 150-pound kicker Alex McPherson will kick a 43-yarder to win it.
I would love that. I hope that happens. I don't want it to sound like if that happened, I would get down on the floor and cry.
Yeah, that would be unbelievable. I mean, what that kid's gone through with ulcerative colitis.
Oh, I know. What a story. What a story.
The guy's kicking wearing a colostomy bag.
Great family, phenomenal story.
Yep,
I mean, it's just unreal. So great family. And, for Amber and LaDonna's parents, I hope at some point this fall, if it's not this weekend, I hope at some point this fall he kicks a game winner. That'd be fun for sure.
Yeah, I hope he can eventually get on top of all that for sure. Mm-hmm. Alabama will be traveling to South Carolina. Shane Beamer, I'm a fan of his. Met him years ago at Mississippi State. I really like him. I like the way his dad played. Hunter, what do you say? Bama at South Carolina. Can Enter the Sandman upset the Crimson Tide?
No, I just don't think. I love Shane Beamer too. I think he's really funny when he's on the mic, especially post-game pressers. Very similar to his predecessor, Steve Spurrier. But I think Alabama they're hot right now. They're playing sound football. I don't think this game will be close. I don't care, the atmosphere. I just think Alabama's going to be too much for South Carolina. They were ranked in the preseason. They haven't really shown us anything. At one point, Nathan said he was the best quarterback in the SEC, and that has completely fell flat entirely. Because not only Nathan, ESPN was like, yeah, he looks like Cam Newton 2.0. How did that work out, man? That didn't pan out at all. It's like a mega jinx. I don't know what you do with that. But that being said, I got Bama in this one big. I just don't think it's going to be close. Give me Bama by 3 touchdowns.
Nathan?
Yeah, if there was ever any doubt that I'm one of the not so ready for primetime pickers, it was my Lenora Sellers take. Not only is he not in front of the Heisman race, he just hasn't looked good, and he's battled injuries and turnovers. And I'm kind of low on Shane Beamer right now. I was a lot more fired up about Beamer ball when I thought Lenora Sellers was going to be the answer. I think Alabama is about to walk into William Bryce and win by 20. I don't think this one will be particularly close. I think Alabama is clicking on all cylinders. Ty Simpson is what I thought Lenora Sellers would be. I see no reason to think that South Carolina is going to make this close.
Rick, Karle, what do you think?
They are what they thought they were, right? I mean, look, the most exciting moment for Gamecocks fans will be the run out at the beginning of the game because they do a great job of that. Seriously, I think they play 2001 Space Odyssey, and they put the smoke, and I mean, it's an exciting game atmosphere. They do a great job at Gamecocks games. They really do. It'll be 13-10, Bama at half. The final will be 34-10. Bama will score 3 touchdowns in the second half. They're kind of like a boa constrictor, Bama is. They usually start slow. And the opponent's like, well, yeah, okay, I can take this snake. Second quarter, they're like, okay, this, I'm feeling a little pressure around my midsection. It's getting a little uncomfortable. Third quarter, you're gasping for air. And, by midway through the fourth quarter, they're carrying you off the field. So I think it's just the boa constrictor mentality. And I think as the game wears on, the points pile up. And Ty Simpson will have another big game. And, how about Ryan Williams showing up the other day? That was good to see, too. So, I think Bama by 24 this weekend.
I have a soft spot for the Gamecocks, but it's the ones in Jacksonville at Jack State. I'll tell you the thing about Ty Simpson and the Alabama team as a whole. They're getting better every week. And, you see little pieces of the game come together. And if they just keep improving, they're going to be one of the top 2 or 3 teams when the playoffs come around. And I think that while they have a great atmosphere to run on the field, I feel like a lot of those fans are going to be gone by halftime, and Alabama's going to make a walk of this one. I am going with the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, guys, we'll be back to wrap this thing up in just a minute. It's the Tailgate Tailgate Show. Thank you for joining us. Our website, thetailgatetailgateshow.com. Check out all the information there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that kind of good stuff. And we'll be back with the guys to wrap it up right after this.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Just got that new boat? Let Sunrise Docks protect your investment with Swift Shield boat covers, Neptune boat lifts, and easy ports for your personal watercraft. Plus, they have composite decking that stays cool, designed with your feet in mind. Sunrise Docks is always first in quality, first in service, and first in customer satisfaction. Right off Highway 63, your Lake Martin headquarters, with 2 barges and the most experienced boat lift crew on the lake. Sunrise Docks is your lake life expert. Call 256-392-5200.
Welcome back, everybody. The Tailgate Tailgate Show. It is the tailgate show for the tailgaters. Thank you for being part of all the fun, and we have had a lot of fun with this episode. Rick Karle has been our guest prognosticator from Fox 6, NBC 13. And Rick, tell everybody a little bit about the podcast you're doing now. I've been a guest on there. I don't think it's aired yet, but you are really doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah. We built I guess I can say this. I'm a partner in Sky High Studios, and that's a production company. There's 7 of us together. And one of the partners is James Spann. You've heard of James Spann before.
Know a little about him, yeah.
So anyway, we've started a podcast. We're doing a documentary on the April 27th tornadoes. We got Coach Saban for 40 minutes a couple weeks ago. So they're editing that into the movie. Chandler Wallace doing a great job at that. Ryan Spann, James's kid, is in there with us. But we're doing a podcast called the Good Company Podcast. And we built they and us built a big set at the Scott Dawson Ministries building off Lakeshore. It's a beautiful facility. We're just paying for some space there. But it's really nice. So we're doing it on TV and audio on YouTube, Spotify, and everywhere. But anyway, it's just it's a podcast to get beneath people. In other words, we had Butterbean, remember the old bald boxer that weighed, years, and just his life. We had Bubba Bussey. And, we talked with Bubba about things maybe just other than just, talked about how he met his wife, and I met Betty, and just different things. And I think it's different. We had Mike Lutzenkirchen is on this week talking about Philip, losing Philip 11 years ago and what came of that. And, he and Mary are changing lives through the Leslie 43 Foundation. So it's one a week right now. We're just releasing, and just go to wherever you get your podcast. You can go to my Facebook page too, at Rick Karle Good News, and it's there. All the episodes are there. But we had Span on. The host of this podcast, really quick. I don't want to waste your time here, but
no,
it's
you're
me.
good.
Okay, Lars Anderson, who's a New York Times bestselling writer. He's written many books. He just finished the Tom Brady book, as a matter of fact, so he's very relieved about that. Matt Coulter is another guest, and Matt did TV and radio for years, as you know. And then James Spann is another special guest. Because of contract obligations, we have to call him a special guest. So he is our special guest, but he's with us about half the time. Of course, he's busy with his Alabama Weather Network as well, and with his TV station 3340. So it's been a cool thing, and we have fun doing it. And again, you can get it wherever podcasts are available.
Rick, we appreciate you being on. You know, you run into all type of people in this business like you do, Annie, and you're really one of the good guys. I've known you for a long time, and you don't change. You've always been that way, and you like spreading good news, and I appreciate that, because so many times that's not what we get from the media. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Yeah, my Facebook page has kind of gone off on that, and people do like good news. I stay out of politics. You can't win there, and and crime and controversy. And my wife has always said, I've been married 41 years, and she always says, you've never liked controversy or you just like to be the nice guy. I said, well, there's something to be said for that, And by the way, real quick, 41, how long you been married, Bubba? I forget.
36. 36.
Yep. Yeah, I'm 41, and I say all the time, just for your listeners, our key to a happy marriage is we actually make it a point to go out to dinner twice a week. She goes out on Tuesday, and I go out on Friday. So
that's such a good one. And guys,
real quick, that studio that y'all have in that office is one of the best studios I've been in a minute. The way y'all put that together, it just like you walk in there and it feels like you're just in a home. You know what I mean? And it kind of just sets the kind of the vibe for your podcast, where you just sit down and relax, and it's just like you're just talking to everybody. It's not, you almost forget the microphones and the cameras and the lights are there, and I really applaud y'all how y'all set that up.
Well, that's our kind of goal, is to, the producers, and they always say, hey, Karle, you're not on TV like you were for 45 years. You're not looking into the camera and doing the Ron Burgundy, you stay classy, Birmingham, you are just talking to each other. So while these cameras are surrounding us, these jib cams and everything, and they're taking different angles, we make it a point to just talk to each other around a kitchen table. And that's what we want people to feel like, they're just dropping in on a conversation. But thanks, they do a great job with that production. I'm just there to talk, but I did help put up some of the fake brick there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
and Rick,
that fake brick is good, man. It looks real.
It was fun. I was there for about an hour. Me and Hunter were there for about an hour with you guys, and we could have talked for 4 more. We were just having such a good time. But thank you for being a part of our show this week. And wrapping up, I did say we would pick a tailgater of the week, and we do have entries, but I had no idea I'd be laying in a hospital bed in Chicago all week, so we didn't get that done. We will get it done next week. Send those entries to me, Bubba at the tailgateshow.com. We will be giving away the coveted Silver Sow Award, and that is from Awards to Remember in Alexandria. Robert D. Smith helping us with that. We also have new merchandise on the website, and we want you to check out all of our social media outlets, including our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, and X. So, guys, thank you. And if we don't have any other closing comments, I'll wrap it up here until toe touches leather next time. Please remember, we love you. God does too. And you've been listening to the Tailgate Tailgate Show.
Attention business owners, print buyers, and production managers. Guaranteed Labels is here to help you focus less on your printing, labels, decals, and focus more on growing your business. Guaranteed Labels wants to be your reliable printer. Quality, on-time shipments, and stock programs set us apart. If you're needing to focus less on your printing and more on your business, trust Guaranteed Labels, 205-640-4552 or GuaranteedLabels.com. Guaranteed Labels, still sticking since 1988.
Looking for your dream home at Lake Martin?
Trust Adam Yeager at Lake Martin Realty. Adam's honest, hardworking, and puts you, the client, first. Every time. With his local expertise and dedication, he'll guide you to the perfect property, hassle-free. Whether buying or selling, let Adam go to work for you. Call Adam Yeager at Lake Martin Realty today, 205-914-0830. Lake Martin Realty is a licensed real estate brokerage. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, this is Robert Smith for Awards to Remember. I hope you'll think of us for trophies, plaques, and awards. We're famous for our low discount prices, and our customer service is second to none. We were named as one of the top 10 awards dealers in the Southeast. We were a finalist for Alabama Small Business of the Year, and our website at awardstoremember.com is one of the best in the industry. Awards to Remember, where we don't just create trophies, we create memories.
You've been listening to the Tailgate Tailgate Show, a production of Intergalactic Pants and Tees, all rights reserved. Be sure to like and follow and subscribe to the show and all social media. Contact information is on our website at thetailgatetailgateshow.com. Until next time, may your coals stay hot and your tent stay dry.
So